Today we're going to talk about the new for 2025 Z-Grills 700D3. Smoke these great looking beef cheeks and make these delicious barbacoa tacos, and then talk about the best pellet grill value ever. I'm Johnny. Let's start by setting up the Z-Grills 700D3. First, let's set up that 28-pound hopper that gives us up to a 28-hour burn. My favorite feature about the 700D3 is the PID 3.0 controller. Using a PID for your controller has a lot of advantages, such as precision, stability, robustness, and versatility. But in the pellet grill world, it's efficiency, and that's how Z-Grills can give you up to a 28-hour burn in one full hopper. Another feature that I like about this 700D3 is the fact that you don't need an app to control it. This Z-Grills model has a traditional manual control for ease of use. You can see here that we have a power button and a feed button, and then the knob controls your temperature. At the bottom of the knob, you'll see a setting for the shutdown cycle, then a smoke cycle, which burns at about 160 degrees, then a low smoke 180 degree if you wanted to smoke, let's say, fish, in 25-degree increments, all the way up to about 400 degrees in the high setting. Now let me show you how I like to set up the Z-Grills 700D3. I'll just ball up some foil and set it on the right side of the drip pan. Get my tray and set it right on top. Now the foil is going to keep the drip pan level. That gives me enough room to place the grates right over my drip pan. Now let's turn on our Z-Grills and set the temperature to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that we have our Z-Grills 700D3 set up, let's prepare our beef cheeks for smoking. The first thing we'll need is a rub. In a bowl, pour in a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, a 1/4 cup of black pepper, and a teaspoon of granulated garlic. We'll get the lid on, shake that up, and when you're done, you'll have a rub that looks like this. Now let's trim our beef cheeks. These are beef cheeks that I bought from my local Kroger. This chain area, a lot of people throw that away, but I don't. I like to trim off as much of the fat as I possibly can from this area and save that meat. Now for the main part of the beef cheek, you're going to want to get as much of that hard fat off as you possibly can, because it's hard to render that and make it edible. When you're done, your beef cheek should look like this. Now once I have everything trimmed, here are those pieces of beef cheek that a lot of people throw away, and it came out to be the equivalent of one whole beef cheek. For me, it's worth the extra effort. Now we can season our beef cheek with the rub we made, and I'll put as much seasoning on the beef cheek that will stick. We are done trimming and seasoning. Let's get the beef cheeks on the Z-Grills. Now, while these are smoking, it's going to capture all those drippings, and that's going to help us maintain a clean pellet grill. Let's take a look at inside of the Z-Grills 700D3, and I'll show you some upgrades and nice features that I like. Now, the first thing that stands out is this extra large heat baffle. It sits right over the fire pot, and its size is going to give us a more even heat distribution. Now the folks at Z-Grills, they really designed this to fit in nice and tight, so there is no room to play on this heat baffle. To keep the heat baffle from warping, they added these extra bars to make it more rigid. The heat baffle is going to sit right in on these notches. Another item I like is this double-walled construction in the cooking chamber. This is going to help us retain heat and direct it for more even temperature distribution. So Z-Grills has also kept it simple. This drip pan is sloped from left to right, and the grease should drip right into your bucket. One of the nice things that I like about the Z Grills is its deep cooking chamber. One of the upgrades that I like is the handle of the 700D3. It's bent to come down so that when you open the lid, there's a less likely chance that you're going to be burning your wrist. On the older model, you'll see that the handle does not have that downward bend to it. Our beef cheeks have been going for about 2 hours now. So we're going to get some onions and slice them into thick strips. We're going to place them into this small aluminum pan, add about 2 bay leaves, a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and then we're going to use some beef broth. We want to fill that pan up to the top of the sliced onions. And here's what that looked like for me. Then we'll go get our beef cheeks and take a look at how they're looking now. They have a nice bark and already look quite delicious. Now we can set those beef cheeks right on top of those sliced onions. Now we can get our lid on and then just use your knife to poke a vent hole right on top of the lid for the pan. So we are still working at 250 degrees, and we'll just set our pan filled with beef cheeks right in the middle of the grill. These beef cheeks went for another 5 hours until they got fork tender. Now it's time to see our results. But first, let me tell you about the best value in pellet grills on the market. Z Grills is having an almost hard to believe sale right now where you buy one grill now and every 5 years for the next 50 years you'll get a free grill. All you'll have to do is pay for shipping. Now there is an option that you can pick it up yourself. Save $100 if you live near a distribution center. Otherwise, $100 and you'll receive your grill. Now you know you'll be getting a good quality grill every 5 years because Z Grills is always innovating. And that's why I wanted to show you some of those upgrades that you get today. Because in 5 years, there'll be more updates and upgrades. So you'll always be getting the latest features in a Z Grills. Now I want to show you some of the value-added items that Z Grills has that another more expensive brand doesn't have. For instance, the Z Grills will give you 2 probes while the more expensive brand gives you 1. The Z Grills gives you some probe hole plugs, whereas the more expensive brand gives you none. This one is big. The Z Grills gives you 4 articulating casters. The more expensive brand gives you 2 fixed wheels, no casters. Another item, the Z Grills will give you a 28-pound hopper with up to 28-hour burn. The more expensive, only a 20-pound hopper. And even just a little nice value-added handle for the lid. More expensive, no handle. The Z Grills gives you storage under the pellet grill while you only get a shelf on the more expensive brand. One of the items that I really like is Z Grills ships with a cover. You have to buy that on the more expensive brand. Overall, you just can't argue about the value in Z Grills. Now, if you would like a Z Grills for yourself, check out the link in my description or in my pinned comment and just head over to the website. Take a look at what they got, and if something checks that box for you, go ahead and buy it. Now let's take a look at those beef cheeks. Check these out. They are simply beautiful work of art. Look at that. It just crushes right in your hand. And check out those tacos. Come on, tacos. Now, how does everything taste? Absolutely 100% delicious. You won't find a more tender or decadent meat than beef cheeks. Now the beef cheeks were fantastic. The tacos were delicious. And that was a lot of valuable information about Z Grills. If you want one for yourself, don't forget about the links below. Now if you haven't already subscribed to View to a Grill, it's time to do that now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.